All right, shifting now to the process activities. We have learning objectives, we've now received some sort of instruction, and now we're getting ready to process that instruction, and there's a myriad of ways to do that. We're gonna talk synchronous and asynchronous strategies here. And so, Nick, really, how will students know that they're on the right track?
See, that's an important question. Before we have students continue on to the practice, we need to engage kids in a process activity. The process activity is really tied to the instruction that they just received. And the key here is that they get some immediate feedback on so that I know I'm on the right track. So in that live or synchronous connection, the door's wide open. You can really do just about anything you would have done in your face-to-face classroom live with your students. You could engage kids with the Jamboard, for example, that online whiteboard, where students could be on different slides and they can be writing down whatever it is you're asking them to write down. If it's a graphic organizer, that might be inside of a Google Doc or a Google slide. And yes, you can do anything, just about anything that you would have done in that face-to-face classroom in your live connections. But let's think a little bit about those asynchronous connections. So here, our goal is still, remember, to give some immediate feedback on student answers so they know that they're on the right track. In an online setting, we can leverage tools like your independent review platforms, a QUIZIZZ, or maybe even a QUIZLET, that can engage kids in some practice, some answering some comprehension questions, for example, about the instruction. Okay, and you can build in feedback in a QUIZIZZ so that if I get it wrong, I know I got it wrong, and I know it immediately. Another great tool that we mentioned before is EDPUZZLE. It's a great way to make that teacher video or any video interactive. You can embed those close-ended questions, but it's a little bit more difficult in an online asynchronous setting to ask those open-ended questions. So for example, getting kids to fill out a graphic organizer. Well, how do they get immediate feedback on a graphic organizer? Our recommendation is that you, teachers, provide them with the teacher copy of that graphic organizer and also a quick explanation of this is how and why I filled this out the way I did. Now, if my graphic organizer doesn't look the same as yours, I can look at yours and compare, as well as read your explanation of why you put these things in different places. Thinking about an offline setting, now we're really limited to that teacher copy and teacher explanation. And that might feel like maybe, why am I doing this? But it's still extremely important that kids get that feedback, that they know they're on the right track before they continue in their learning process.